she talked about it. I think I don't know who she talked about it. Said, "You know about it?" You know, I said, "Hey, I eat like a gerbil. I'm not panicked because you know why? I could go outside right now and I could pick something. I could chop something. I could drink something." I said, "Look, I didn't even spend no money the other day, and I got a basket full of fruit, a basket full of vegetables, right?" So, am I concerned? Put it like this: are the ants, roaches, cockroaches, birds, pigeons, chickens, are they concerned at this point because a boat's not coming here? So what more is man, right? What more is man who could do for himself should be concerned if you can't feed yourself? If you don't understand, you got to change these habits and change the tools that Liman's talking about. We can't, we got to change it and at least, at the very least, right? Change the plan that built the house at least. If the house keeps falling down, you can't keep building it on the sand. You got to go down to the bedrock at least, right? Because you do have a backhoe now. You don't have to chisel down and do it by hand. So you could go that extra mile and scrape till you get bedrock. You know what I mean? But if you fall to the cave and fill it in like Don Shelly Bay, they keep doing it on the stretch, trying to figure out why a plastic hose keeps busting with water down on Shelly Bay stretch. I mean, I mean, come on. How many times are we going to dig up the road down Shelly Bay? Right? For a broken water pipe. Why is the water pipe broken? Can anybody tell you? Why does it keep breaking in the same place? Can anybody tell you? I'm just saying. Think about it, people. And we don't get tired sitting at traffic lights for the same thing 3, 4, 5 times a year. Or Shelly Bay stretch. It's a talent thing. So when you order, if you're ordering these guys to go back to work, that doesn't solve the problem. We need a new level of communication. We need to wipe away the bedrock of our negotiation processes that are all oligarchic set up to be against. You all are shareholders. You're all a part of that company. If you don't have a seat at the table, what good is your shareholdership? If you don't know what they're saying behind closed doors, where is the transparency? So if we are going to talk about transparency, shareholdership, who is making the decisions, no seat at the table, what good is it? Money? Well, money is not stopping you from being unemployed. Like I said, what good is $1 billion? If it can't sustain you into the future, it's not so sustainable. It doesn't secure you, I should say. Doesn't make you secure. So being a shareholder doesn't make you guys only dock secure. Look, corporation, the union is now saying, right, we're going to revoke, look, one disagreement, right? Look, we're going to revoke the fact that we supported this company to have this for the next 20 years. We're going to revoke it. How do you get to a point? Now, this shows you the frailty, right, of our decision-making process. That's putting it kindly, right? It shows you the frailty of our decision-making process. When even though we know this is the best way forward, because something is going awry in our communication, we now want to uproot something that we felt vehemently about, that we would support for 20 years. You're saying you're going to wipe away 20 years of goodwill and say, nope, they're not the ones now because of this disagreement. That's not family.
No.
That's not progress. Right? That's oligarch, colonial, European thinking. That is not our Alkebulan thinking. That is not pre-enslavement thinking. That is not Susu. That is not Kemet. That is not denial. That is not who we were to build such great societies that the Moors came out of. We're builders. We're not strippers. We didn't destroy none of our stuff, you know.
Nothing, nowhere.
That's why it lasts so long. Huh?
Yeah,
Look,
man.
the biggest tools, right, that the ancient people did, especially right when it came to war, was kill offspring or the womb of the woman.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they figured that you got to do that to cut it off. See, 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 we deal with this tertiary stuff, like we deal with this superficial stuff. No, we look at the war, and they do war, and they do things in Al Kabulin. We cringe, we cry, we just, huh? Because the lasting things that they do have nothing to do with the artifacts, have nothing to do with the oil and the gold. They say we're gonna cut this off, so the next time we come at this, they got a little bit less to bring forward to us. So they'll kill your firstborn, they'll kill your males. It's history. They'll kill your first male. They kill the womb of the woman because they know if that child raises up, they're gonna be told the story. So they decimate villages. They decimate people. This is not. I'm not saying this is the right thing, but I'm saying if you're going, when you cut it off, they cut it off. They ain't playing with it like the rest. We're gonna come in because we want all your money, we want all your property. No, no, no. They're saying no. We need we need to have less of a war the next time. That's not what we do. We go in and we go, oh, let's order them back to work because these people over here want to eat, and you guys, your problem's gonna have to be resolved some other time.
But
Right?
knowledge.
Huh?
Yeah, that's the situation. Yeah, man.
This is real, right? But you only know this, you know what I'm saying, when you go to these places, but you have to study it. That's what I'm saying. Look at it, study, right? If you're gonna try and get rid of somebody, you don't do it by taking the resource away. That's not it. Somebody could always feed you that candy I talked about with the diabetes. Somebody's always gonna bring you a bullet. Somebody's always gonna bring you a gun. Somebody's always gonna give you water and sustenance to fire that gun. But you start taking away the cack and blow boys that actually shoot the guns and stop them in the womb. Oh, wow. What sort of war you going to fight 10 years' time? Right? So we must think about when we're trying to deal with a problem, we must cut it off.
Oh yeah.
We cannot continue to placate these situations by panic, right? And ego. Panic and ego. Panic and ego, right? That's why we call ourselves we're knee-jerkers. We're knee-jerk decision makers. Look, if as labor, you didn't see all this here coming and have these guys to the table talking all this time. But now it's like, oh, wait a minute, we got 3 ships on the dock side that can't go back to New York, by the way. They can't go back to the United States under the new COVID regs. Right? Before you could have took that ship and sent it back, plug it in. No, you can't take that stuff back. So now you got to offload it before you could get out of here again. Right? So you can't offload the book, can't go back. Yeah? So now panic is being set in. So we need to think about how are we solving these problems? I said something the other day that, people wouldn't agree, people may agree. But stevedore services is a long-running setup of wrong. Right? And you must now look at it and say that the union has had responsibilities which has created more internal strife. Think about it. You can't blame Polaris for what's happening with Joshua Butler. You can't blame Polaris for what the union is going through with workers. There's division. Has nothing to do with Polaris. It has everything to do with the policies in which we've been functioning over the last 500 years. Right? And if we don't see that when they sometimes hand you power, it's because you have to deal with the confusion. And if you don't see that, if you don't deal with that right and use it as tools to leverage over their people, then that's what they don't have to do anymore. You relinquish them of doing evil. Now they can stand back and point the finger and say, we gave it to you. You be the bad guy. Right? You manage this. We don't want to be that guy because, we know how we think. So we won't be able to be seen, right? So we're going to turn it over to you. And then you don't do no battle with it. So now it's used as a tool against your own people. So one man can't eat or for overtime because a group of you get together and say, hey, your boy's not with us. He ain't doing this or they not doing that. So let's not give him no overtime. Oh, let's penalize him with overtime. So you'll much rather take a man's livelihood, but yet when the guy's doing it now, because he disagrees and he puts your guy on suspension, oh wait, that's unfair. Ouch.
Ouch.
Ouch. That's unfair. You can't put our president, said to be president, on suspension because you disagree with something that he did, and now you're going to penalize him over money? Woo, wait a minute. Ain't that the pot calling the cattle black? Joshua disagrees, and now he doesn't get no overtime. Ooh. Oh, wait a minute. It's not union, so he can't get no overtime. Ooh. It's the same ideological thinking. We're not bearing witness to our humanity, to our care and family life. Ouch.
That's real.
So while people were caught up, and I understand, you caught up in that conversation with Joshua and everybody saying, oh my God, it was handled quite well. I thought it was really pathetic in a sense that, here are two great people that have the people, quote unquote, at heart, are battling out the issues on open radio. Because he's been pushed out to the curb. So instead of throwing our arms around him and saying, I understand you're offended, come home. Let us talk this out. The same reason I'm talking about why we are looking at our bums and quote unquote at our beggars and these people out in the street. We need to put our arms around them and tell them, come home. It's a real deal. Yeah, it's hard because they're smelly. Make them get a bath. First of all, guess what? You get a bath too. But we have to tell them. At the very least, give them a bump, an elbow pump or something and tell them, come in. Enough. You can beg around here. You get your drugs, you know what I mean? Like, you stop being a pain to everybody else. Right? That's what they do. Tell them, come in, stop being a pain. You got to go town beg around. You ain't got to do that here. Come in. You ain't got to go around town begging. You ain't got to do that. You get your drugs anyway. Come here. You need $20. Let's take our own problem. Let's take our own family. Let's stop expecting that it's just anybody. It's not just anybody. It's somebody's child. But we keep inhibiting that child from going to. We keep letting them come to them and and so we become the parents downtown and we give them $2, $5, $7, $20. This all ties in, man. It's all this ego piece about what am I doing good? I'm doing good. I give them $2, yeah, man. I give them $5, man. Ego.
Ego.
Brag about this good that we're doing. And in fact, we are killing ourselves with this false identity of good. This placation. This is real stuff, man. But here we are, but two simple-minded brothers just sharing.
What do we mean? Yeah, what do we
Just, I make no bones about it. I'm just a simple-minded fella too. Shares and what I think. Do with it what you will. But for me, I will serve the Most High God and His
Mhm.
ordinances to the fullest that I can to my humanity.
Yeah,
And
man.
my house shall do the same. That's it. That's it. I can only do this. You know, Can't beat you. But it's yeah, it's a weird thing. I've watched it. Just watched people, assist in shenanigans.
Hmm.
Even when they're thinking about it, right? Well, I mean, how antiquated is that? And I like Jason, but how antiquated is that? If that's the words used, I'm not sure that's the words used because I didn't hear it myself. But if those words are used, ordered, back to work. They are labor government. Shouldn't it be? I intend to find out exactly what's going on and bring these two people to the table. We're going to talk as men and women to sort this out, best of interest of the family. Now that would be a progressive thing to do. And state, because it puts forth a new way forward for people of thinking about communication. As opposed to, oh my God, the minister's been called in now. So now I'm going to have to order you guys back to work. Right? As opposed to, maybe I'm supposed to plead with you. Like, look, appeal to your better nature.
Hmm.
Don't let everybody suffer. Appeal. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with appealing to the better nature of the people? Come on, you guys. Surely there's a way for you to make this decision so that we all don't suffer this consequence. Right? Where is that appealing? Where is that internal conversation that these guys on the dock have to have with themselves? Right? These are the bigger conversations about who we are, the id.
Yeah.
You see? The ego, the id. Right? So when do we go into the metaphysical man and examine ourselves to say our decision process is flawed?
Yeah, man. Yeah, but because it's not in this book. See, that's what it ain't. We don't have that too. So they're looking in the toolbox that don't contain that message. So they're coming up with the same old solutions that was
Yeah.
given
The
to them.
collective bargaining agreement. The collective bargaining agreement says, you know, wait, I'm not working. What's the collective bargaining agreement say about that? You're not working, bro. Can they get me back my job? I don't know. We're gonna have to fight for it. We're gonna have to go on strike. Maybe we're gonna have to pull the other guys out. See, is that in the back of the robbery? Yeah, man, it's in the back of the robbery agreement. What happens when you don't get the job back? Damn you, collective bargaining agreement. Should have went to Warren Jones and pleaded and called through myself on the mercy and said, is there any way you can find it in your heart? Because I've had a change of heart. I don't know. I haven't been there like that before. But, I do know what it's like to get up from the table. Principally, I do know what it's like to get up from the table. Hence why we're here scrapping through and my equipment fails every other minute and such and such. It's because I refuse to just sit at anybody's table. Just because you got the money. Just because you got the power. Just because I refuse to have this channel be like everything else that's out there. That's what you call getting up from the table. I refuse to just let anybody just come sit in the seat just because. If you're going to do just because, then I'm going to treat you like everybody else paid. You don't want to pay them. You don't respect what I have to bring to the table, sir. What's the sense coming for dinner?
Exactly.
You don't want to feed me. So I have to feed myself. Right? We have to feed ourselves. Hmm? This is rich.
This is rich. And
This is rich. Starve that ego.
stop.
Starve the ego. We must. And we must stop feeding the ego of others wrongly. We prop people up wrongly in this country. There's the other way too. Feeding egos that we shouldn't be feeding. Yes, Jinx, boy. Yeah, man. I hear you. Y'all Jinx, go ahead, boy. Have a good day, see? Trucking down deal to the drug addict, to the drug dealer. Feed the ego. Tough love needed. You know what I mean?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah, we
big,
can't celebrate this stuff no more. They ain't the same as Jim Garlic and Tommy Tucker. They ain't the same as these guys who were on the way making out a eager living, a meager living. And, they ain't the same, man. You know what I'm saying? We think these guys are weather birds, and these ain't no weather birds, man. These are complete pains, man. Huh? We ain't got those type of things no more. These are pains. We make fun of complete pains and mental illness. We make fun of it. We create memes out of it, and make fun of mental illness. Sadly, in this country, you know, ego. Stop it.
that's the truth. That's
Yeah.
we gotta stop it. And how do they when? How do they stop it when all they're looking at is the ego? You don't know that it's something else. You know what I mean? You're not tuned into you're not tuned into that narrative the story that'll show you the other way. You're picking up them same tools. So you got to change the conversation. So hopefully we'll introduce something out there and people will take this out and have conversations in those circles and create, you know what I mean, the movement and shift away from this system. It's gonna take time. It's not gonna happen overnight. It could happen overnight, but you know what I mean, it had that critical mass, but probably won't. You know? Probably I doubt it, but I hope we can come together and see that this is not the way. Just picking up the tools and saying, "Well, it's me doing it," but that's worse. You may as well left the UBP OBA in there and let the guy, you know what I mean, that don't look like me. Let me chat down the guy that don't look at like me. Don't stand there looking like me and do the same thing. Do the same, you know what I mean? Do the same thing. That don't make no sense, man. You gotta accept that. You are not in the position of government. That means you are not the enemy. In essence, you know what I mean? As long as you maintain that position, because I'm still the grassroots guy that was saying change. And if you are not assuming government and you're not taking apart government and deconstructing it and rebuilding it up from our value system, from let me run the Susu. If you're not rebuilding it from the Susu, if you're not taking that type of a foundation, then you're just building the same move, same move. You know what I mean? And got me hooked. Yes, it's vital.
That's why I think it's important that when you look at it, is it not a just cause? Is it a just cause of why people are on or off? Is it a just cause that these dock workers feel aggrieved? Is it a just cause or not? Can't judge it, but that has to be determined. If it's a just cause, then how can you use the heavy hand of the law or your power of your office to overturn a just cause? You see, it doesn't it doesn't bode well for the resolve. Then come out and say the wrong. Make a decision, but don't just say go back to work. find out the situation, make a decision, say, listen, they're wrong. But in this case, I'm going to ask you to go back to work. Right? Or, hey, Stephen, you're wrong. And in this case, I can't ask him to go back to work because you're wrong. Right? So, we have to make these decisions that may seem unpopular, but are the best to heal the situation, to resolve the real problems that we have going forward. That's the whole thing, and that's what it takes. But without that, all you're gonna hear is I've asked him to go back to work. But who's right and who's wrong, and is it a resolve that really can move it forward, as opposed to ending up back in this position 6 months down the road, 5 weeks, 3 weeks down the road, a month down the road. Let's start fixing these problems once and for all, so we don't have to revisit them.
Come on.
Visiting the same problems on the dock. Boats get stuck. Okay, we're gonna do what the oligarch did. Make it the essential service. You can't do this. You can strike. Right? That's the oligarch, right? Made it whereas you can strike. Your group right there, you can strike. Your group over here, you can strike. But that group over there can't. That's oligarch, man. One group gets the right, the other one doesn't. Right or wrong. That's oligarch. That makes no sense for us. But hey, once again, who am I? Anyway, I'm done for today. My accountant's sitting here.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we ain't got to keep going. I think we hit it right on the head. Now, as the conversation's got to spread out into the community, they got to continue it and see if we can make this shift as soon as possible. Put the pressure on that so-called government to break that thing down.
Crawford's getting the last word today. Brother Crawford, salam te.
Yes, Grand Rising to you, Liman.
Grand Rising. You get the last word today.
Thank you, brother. And now on the subject matter concerning the dock, I totally understand. I see what you guys are dealing with on the docks. It's time, right, that we do grow up. The minister, right? Mr. Hayward, watch what he said. Because, this is that slave type of, the system, right? And he has to watch what he's doing because, what we didn't look for that type of, behavior. But we knew the oligarch was actually there all day long. The same thing. So, it's an inheritance that he must know, right? But not about labor, right? Where's management, and this? Why are they so quiet? You know why? They want to turn on the gate each other, right? And
that's what's happening on the dock.
That's
what's happening. It's just internal fighting.
Yeah, and they look back at their lives, they've been looking about, let their fools go ahead and fight. Let them go ahead and do what they have to do, right? Well, guess what? We still have the upper hand. How foolish can we go wrong and take that on? So you must start looking at the common sense of this type of stuff. Chris was good further, and then brother, what did they do? They were away from yesterday.
Josh.
And I'm saying, these guys are listening to all that, right? We must now look at how we're going to fix this, right? Right now, in this country right now, we should start looking at how we're going to take that dock and make it all other. They have not to a good start on that dock, right? They have put so much money and so much time into that. The government should know that. They have worked it for years, generations. The minute they went on right, come to the table with clean hands and also that blessing. If you leave that blessing out, they will continue on the same crap they're doing more now. Come to the table, right, and get this sorted out, right, so we can go ahead and do what we have to do. But for billions, we must start looking at what we can also bring back our chickens, bring back our PVP, right? Bring back all this type of stuff, right? So we don't have to be after all that type of stuff, right? Because you see confusing them. They want to control. They want to control us. And it's destroyed, right? If you see what's going on at the top right now, that's a very, very serious thing going on.
You want it?
I do. You know, back in
You want it?
I'm
You
going
can.
to want this when I get home, but I don't want to be on.
Yes.
But you want, you can't stop it, bro. I'm saying this is much more powerful than anything that I ever come across. Think it, brothers.
Peace, beloved.
Yes.
Salam. Yes, beloved. Final tune of the day. I was running tunes that made it in the dance that were gospel tunes that made it in the dance hall from time before, right? Because I was talking about Jerusalem, which is basically considered a gospel song, also on the heights of the heavens and where our soul longs for to be, and so from the various different people that have had songs in the dance, in the clubs, coming up on the rough side, Kirk Franklin Stomp. It was another one that was in the. What's another one, Nick? That was in the. It was a gospel song that played in the discotheque. Which one?
Right, exactly. When he went gospel.
Did they play it in the dance hall? I never heard it.
But yeah, I'll run some of his.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me find one. Let me find one there. Let me find one. I'll find a proper song there. And Lee River. Yes, but what would I play it in the dance hall? What would I play is my question. But that's the way how I started, and that's the way how I finished. But Iman, peace. Yeah, the whole. I don't know if I sent you the thing and sent Christian. Did Christian get back in? Did his sister sort him out?
Not yet. Not with the Classroom. Not with Google Classroom.
Because we keep going there and then, but it's yeah. All right, it's out today, but I'm gonna make sure we get it sorted tonight.
Yes. Well, yeah. So we get that. Yeah, the Spanish.
Christiana sorted though.
Shazian should sort it. We just gotta start the times when we meet.
Yeah, all right.
But just for the rest of the week, well, definitely tomorrow. This vibe about this, and I wanted to jump in it, but it's too late to start it today. But it continues on this idea of the ID, identity. Now going into ID, because this vaccine ID and the ability to travel and all of this, man, is getting real tight. You touched on it yesterday with Qantas airline. There's more airlines. There's more. It's stuff been going on in the background and building steam, gathering steam. And if we don't pay attention and set up our response to this, man, we're gonna be stuck in a. Well, to me, I'm gonna feel like I'm stuck in a hill because I'm not taking the vaccine and getting no COVID ID. So I'm working on my plan to my backup plan to not be stuck on this rock. I like to travel. I like to go see things and I got my plan for 2021 to touch down and land in West Africa and then spend the rest of the time in East Africa. That's the plan, to lay that foundation. So by 2022 comes, I'm grounded. I'm set up and got the pieces in place. This is looking to disrupt that. So I'm structuring certain things, and I want to bring the viewers and the listeners in on that as I'm putting my pieces together and the information as I get access to it, man. Because what is a serious, what it's looking like, not just conspiracy, man. This thing is real, that they're putting together some serious things against us. So I'm gonna touch on them topics a little bit. Try to deal with it tomorrow from jump, so because it's a lot, and try to break that down and get into that issue and go crack that code. But all right, yeah, on that vibe. Tune in. Give thanks for letting me share. Give thanks for tuning in, everybody. Bless up and starve that ego. Yeah, man. Jagai.
Jagai.
Salamte.
Salamte. Papa San.
I'm gonna look like you're on break.
Yeah. I'm going.